Good morning, everybody. It is 8:01 a.m. It is May 17th in the year of 2021. This is the Hive-engine developers meeting. It's good to have Riaz back. Good to see Cryptomancer and Bait. These are some a little bit of crazy times for a lot of people. So we're gonna try to keep this one fairly short. Um, but generally speaking, the goal we have the last hard fork live, and because of that, we now have the decentralized token fund functioning, or at least the software for that, or the back end software. Now we're going to start working on a front end for that. We have BSC coming along, and actually, one thing I don't know, Matic and Polygon seems to be taking off. So one of the questions would be, is that gateway extensible to Matic and Polygon as well? So that's something I'd like to know. And just generally speaking, the goal is to keep growing this product out for a little bit and just bringing more tools online, bringing more options online. I want to make it faster and easier to make tribes. Pretty soon, we're going to get the SMT contract deployed, so that should be pretty good. And so we have a couple different directions that we're moving in, but hopefully they're all pointing to the same destination. And then also it seems like we have some ability to launch NFTs for the various tribes. Now that Riaz is sort of back in full force, that's one of the things that I'm looking to do here shortly. So maybe this week or next, help individual tribes start making their own NFT lines. And we're still going to offer. This is kind of like a pit stop. I don't think this is our full solution, but if you want to get started and have your own NFTs and get those sold to the audiences, then we're at the point now where I think we're ready to do that. So why don't we go start with Cryptomancer? Why don't you give us an update on the bridge and how that's going, and then we'll move along.
Okay, so I made some good progress on the bridge over the past week. Let me paste in the latest project status. One moment. Okay, so I've been working on automatic addition of ERC20s for a fee, and that is nearing completion now. So I've got all the various bits and pieces done up, and I'm basically writing the glue now that binds them all together and makes the whole process work. So I've been just in the process of doing that and testing it and slowly making it robust enough for production use. And there's still a couple more little issues that need to be resolved that I anticipate that will probably be finished off this week. So at least we'll have that functioning on the back end. And then Riaz will have to add some kind of front end for it. And Riaz, when you're ready for that, you can just let me know, and I can give you some more details of exactly how it should work. I was wondering, I'd like to test out the back end once it's ready and just take it for a shakedown cruise by creating a new ERC20. So, do you have any ERC20s in particular that you'd like to see added to hive-engine next?
You've already added a bunch of good ones. And I would just look at what are the top volume ones on something like Uniswap and add whatever the biggest one is that we haven't already added. Let's start there.
Okay, sure. I'll take a look at that and get one to test with. So that's looking good. I'm pretty happy with the way that's going. And then once that's done, originally I was thinking of taking some time to make some support tooling to make tech support for the gateway easier. But now that Lion fixed that bug with the Ethereum address registration on the hive-engine Classic website, I've noticed the volume of tech support for the gateway has diminished greatly, and it seems to be going pretty smoothly for the time being. So I think the urgency of having that tooling in place has kind of diminished somewhat. So I think it might be a better use of time to skip that for the time being and just move directly into working on setting up the Binance Smart Chain gateway next.
Yep. And then, do you know anything about Matic? Do you know if that's a similar situation where we'll just port everything you're doing and just replicate it with some different URLs, basically.
Um, I have no idea what Matic is. Is that another Eth clone?
It's like a layer two on Ethereum. It's it's trying to go deal with the congestion over there by putting stuff on a layer two.
Okay. Since I don't really know anything about it, I can't really hazard a guess at the current time. I would need to research it first.
All right. Well, I agree that the BSC thing should be next. Let's go. Let's get all this stuff functioning, and then hopefully in the not too distant future, like we can have BSC pairs with Ethereum pairs, and like people that basically just want to move tokens from one to the other. Now you have a pretty simple bridge to do that through hive-engine.
Yeah, that was another thing I wanted to talk about a bit. So, just looking at the various tokens that are available, I realized that there's some Ethereum tokens that are also on BSC and vice versa. Like, for instance, I noticed there's an ERC20 version of BNB, and we kind of have to decide what kind of naming convention we're going to use to handle that, because we can't have two swap.bnbs. So right now, the Ethereum gateway it'll generate new tokens as swap dot something. So I'm thinking for the BSC gateway, we need to come up with some kind of different naming convention. We can't just use swap dot something or it'll clash. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I don't know. Swap.bsc dot something.
Yeah, but the problem there is we also have a limited number of token characters that we can support. I think each symbol can be a max of 10 characters. So if you do swap.bsc dot something, there's not really going to be enough room. Maybe instead of swap dot, we could just call it like BSC dot
Yeah,
something.
that's fine. But if you're going that route, just please make sure to lock down BSC dot as like a hive-engine only thing.
Yep, yeah, definitely we'll want to do that. Okay, cool. I think, yeah, let's do that and I'll modify the tokens contract to lock it down.
All right. So gateway command. Do you think that that is this week? And maybe we're getting some test cases done this week.
Yep, that should be this week.
That's awesome. And then that means that either this week or next we start on BSC.
Yep, exactly.
All right. Well, God bless and Godspeed. Hopefully that goes well. All right. Riaz, welcome back. Um, let's see. I'm hoping that, so now that the decentralized token fund is in place, I'm hoping that becomes our focus. And honestly, what I'm really looking forward to is getting B rewards out to people who are staking on the hive-engine platform. And and then making it so that when you stake B, you get to decide where the staked or where the decentralized token fund rewards go, and that's sort of the my next dream here. Can you have you started on that at all, or is that what you're going to start this week?
Yeah, hi guys, good to be back. Yeah, I have started working on the DTF interface on the tribal decks. Before that, I need to fix some bugs and add some new features so that the tribal decks interface go down when we have problems with the nodes. So added a interface to change the nodes, and this is not the most foolproof way, but this will get the job done. Also fix some rounding problems on the trading interface, and also updated the wallet to show the pending unstake. Some users are requesting our interface to cancel their unstaking of the tokens, so that's done. And before the vacation, I was working on the condenser. That is a beast of a software. Also, only managed to code the post creation interface, and I have started on the DTF for this week, and this should be done within the week. I think we will have the interface by the end of this week.
All right, and so the hope, my real hope is that We have our decentralized token fund. We have a proposal system. The proposal system can allow me to reward different contracts or reward different users. So the contract could be the diesel pool staking. So like anybody that's staking, we want to reward them with a certain amount. It should also allow for just normal proposals. So if somebody wants to write let's go market hive-engine to more people on social media, and users want to approve that it should be able to go to specific users. Does that all sounds possible to you?
Yeah, the proposal system is very much possible. I am not sure about the staking reward thing, so I have to get back to you on that. But proposal system is very much possible. I have also planned for the interface, and
Okay.
I'll show you some screenshots later in the when I make the interfaces.
Well, check in with Don Chait because Don was the one that was helping to go put that together. I believe the whole thing is implemented, and we should be at the point where um, if you're staking in a diesel pool, there's a smart contract that the decentralized token fund should be able to pour money into to reward all of the stakers for providing liquidity to the pool.
Yeah, I have seen it's possible to reward a smart contract. Actually, Diesel Pool also have its own rewarding mechanism. I'm just not sure about how the DTF can reward the liquidity providers. I have to look more on that.
Okay. Well, I think as far as I know, the functionality is there on the back end, and hopefully you can string it all together on the front end. And if there are pieces that are missing or you're having problems, hopefully that's something that Don Cheek can help you with.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Um, Cryptomancer, what are your thoughts on how we should kind of get that rolling from like um, getting the stakeholders to be on board with doing a new inflation and reason to stake. I'm thinking that we need, in the long term, I'm thinking that we need like 1 million B per year to go to this decentralized token fund. That would be my objective, and just leave it as a flat number. It's 1 million per year. That's what it is. Um, and that goes out to all the different pools, all the different, it's mostly meant to go support liquidity into the diesel pools, but if there are projects that the community wants to support, then that's part of this too. Um, do you have thoughts on sort of rolling that out, getting either witness approval for that or um, uh, what is it, worker bee holders for that? What do you think the right process is?
Um, I think for stuff like that, it's definitely good to run it by the witnesses first. So I don't think it has to be super formal. You can just kind of go on the witness channel and inform them that that's what we're thinking of doing, and just give them a heads up and give them a period of time to discuss it so they can voice their thoughts and see if there are any objections to it. I think generally speaking, the witnesses, for the most part, are happy to go along with the changes that we want to make, as long as they feel that they're kind of included in the process and being respected in their roles. So I don't think they're really going to have too much of a problem with that.
All right. How do you think we should do the rollout of like how much is available in the pools or in the reward system to start? Because I think 1 million per year might be a bit of a shock if we just do that right away. So I'm thinking maybe like 1 or 200,000 per year as like a starting point to get it up to the million. So do that, do like have it so that the amount is like 100,000 or 200,000 per year as a start, and then wait a month or two, and then bring it up to 400,000 per year, and then wait a month or two, and bring it up to 600,000, and wait a month or two, and then bring it up to 800,000, wait a month or two, get it to the million, and then just leave it at the million, and that's our reward pool. But that way, it's not like an immediate shock to the system, and people have time to start staking B to be able to direct it where they think it ought to go.
I think that sounds like a reasonable approach. So a gradual, steady, phased-in approach to give the system time to get used to it and absorb the additional inflation. That sounds good to me.
Okay, then I think that's what I'll propose. I'm glad that Riaz likes it too. Um, so I think that takes care of some of like the main pieces. Let's get ERC20 creation live. Let's get BSC creation live. Let's get ERC20 to BSC pools going. Um, I don't know. Maybe I need to bring down the cost of diesel pools a bit. And actually, Riaz, on the site, can you increase the number of diesel pools that are available to be seen? Because I don't think people are really going to want to keep scrolling past 20 or something. Or like if we start adding more and they're all on the second page, people aren't even going to know they're there. He's typing. Yeah, he'll do that. Okay.
Yeah,
Um,
I'll do.
that sounds good. Thank you, Riaz. Hopefully that's like a pretty quick thing. Because we got big stuff to do with the decentralized token fund. So just again, I don't know how well I've explained this, but the idea, guys, is that you're going to get rewarded in B for staking various tokens on hive-engine, and the how that works will be based on the decisions of the people that are staking B, and everybody can put in proposals, and the B stakeholders can go direct funds, um, and it'll work very much like the Hive um, Hive proposal system. But whereas Hive is all over the place in terms of what they're supporting. Most of what we're trying to support with the um, decentralized token fund for B is just adding liquidity to the exchange. Now that said, one of the things that we also need to be wary of, and hopefully Riaz, you're taking this into the design, is that like any other token ecosystem. So one example might be Farm Farmer or Mythical Farm. Those guys, which is us, but we should go add some inflation and then give it to people that are either contributing to like a farmer pool, or even just like if we want to get people from if you're staking into the Splinterlands, dark energy crystals versus Hive, and now you're starting to get just a little bit of farm. Maybe that's something that can entice somebody to come into and buy some of the NFTs from Farm Farmer or Mythical. So hopefully the interface that Riaz is building is going to make it easy, not just for us and B, but you select the different token that you want, and you can have your own proposal system up and running and doing it that way. So that's some of what is on the agenda here. All right, Bate, you want to go talk some about what you're up to and what you're up to next?
Yeah, okay. So, good morning, guys. I spent the last week trying to work out releasing Ivan sorry, B charter. So I was able to write a manual review and also come up with the iOS version. Then I was able to it finally went live last week. But the announcement hasn't been made. I think I sent you a DM about that. Then also I went on to check the reviews of hive-engine mobile. Then having used it myself, I realized that it is a lot of latency in the way the app works, and the improvement meant to be made, because the initial agreement was that I would, release an alpha version while I worked on DeFi Dolly. But since DeFi Dolly is on hold, I had to go back to hive-engine mobile and do a lot of optimization. And so far, I realized that in the market screen per se, there was this function causing multiple renders on the component, so it made the app really slow. So I was able to debug and fix that, and the app became about 60% faster even. Then I also, before building the final version, the new version, I want to also implement some additional features like I said before. So I think by the end of by the end of the debugging, I should be able to come up with other features that can ship live as well with the initial version. But this time around, the app is going to be faster, and there's going to be a lot of live features on it as well. And the speed is actually one big win for the app in this phase per se.
Okay. Um, well, I think that's a good update for this morning. I'd like to just get everybody back doing their thing. Um, hopefully the audience is able to hear some of the direction that we're going in and understand that we're building tools and making this thing better. All right, guys. Thanks for being here. I'm going to stop this recording. You guys have a good morning.